And it was love at first sight. I'm really trying to make it fast because of course it was a lot of stuff. And it was this this meeting that felt like, okay, how can we try and be together and spend time with each other? And of course it was never working out because when I was filming they were elsewhere or the other way around. And then they decided, okay, we go to Berlin, we'll shoot a movie in Berlin. So you can stay home and we will film and we can see each other every night. And the moment they arrived in Berlin, I was taking off to make another movie, which was Perfume then, in another country. So we felt like, okay, the only solution to all this is we need to find a film that we can do together. So it was an absurd idea because how can you really find material that could match this? And then this novel fell on us. And the novel was the most exciting thing we've read in a long, long time. And it also had things to it that seemed like inviting us to do a joint experience, make it a joint experience. And so we decided to try and adapt this, which was of course something we swore an oath. We want to adapt it only if we make it work in a way that also the author that we so admire and that we so respect likes and loves. So we gave it a first try, and that first try was actually us traveling to a beach.
Costa Rica.
To Costa Rica. Putting the novel into lots of little pieces and trying to rearrange them in a way that it could make sense for making a film out of it.
Well, I think that was my question, in the sense that, was it like...
I'm saying we can backstory at time as much as we wanted.
Did you write each...
My time is up.
Did you write each of the storylines separately and then sort of like William S. Burroughs, chop it all up and put it back together?
Very interesting, because that's how David wrote the novel, actually. He wrote them as short stories and then he chopped them up. He said he took about 20 minutes to do all the chopping. We were like, you. But when you read the book, you see that there are very resonant things in all 6 stories. And so once we started seeing the resonant pieces of narrative and the pieces of narrative that seemed connected, we began to sort of laying it out as if it was one big story. And that was our goal. That the book feels a little more like an anthology, and it's a little bit more acceptable in literature to write a book like that, of sort of interwoven stories. David did it in Ghost Written. But for a movie, we thought that it would be too hard to start over or start a new story an hour or so, an hour and a half into it with totally new characters. It would be too hard for audiences. But we saw that the book affected, or we all felt that the book affects your brain. You read it, and your brain no longer splits it up into 6 stories. Your brain begins making connections itself.
Yeah, you become the editor when you read the book. So the structure basically goes away as you read from chapter to chapter. You set the book down, and you begin as a reader making all the connections and all the characters. So
we wanted to make a movie of what that was in your brain, basically.
I'll turn it over to the president.